back to Black Coffee and Grits. I'm Lisa. It is August 1st. I think this is Flosstube number 21. Is that true? I think it is. Oh my goodness. So this is a recap of our July stitching, my July stitching, I should say. Everything that I've been stitching on and a few things that I've been sewing this month. I got my quilt back from the quilt, the long armor. So I'll show you that. I still need to put the binding on it, but that is back, and it's been a busy month. It's been hot, but not too hot for Texas. I think we actually only just reached triple digits 2 days ago, like officially. Here is my planner from Katie, the Naptime Stitcher, my cross stitch planner, and lots of fun stickers. I love decorating that. I really, I didn't stitch on a lot of different projects, but I did have some new starts. So there's lots to show today, and just a little bit about what's been going on in the month of July, or what went on. It's weird to, on August 1st, like start talking about the previous month in past tense already, because it feels like it should still be July. We're turning the corner. It is getting close to back to school time. So I got books for Will for next year, or for the next school year, and got a new planner for that. So I love to keep up with a separate planner for my cross stitch planner for school stuff. So I got a cute little happy planner that was on sale at Michael's. Let's see, Will spent a week out of town during the month, so it's kind of quiet. Also, my friend Michelle was in Japan for 2 whole weeks, left me all alone. So it was just really quiet, and it was kind of a little bit weird because I just didn't have my normal people. My husband and I went to a couple of Rangers games with some friends. That was a good time. We spent some time at the pool. My friend Crystal loves to swim. She's an outdoorsy girl. She loves the summer. You know that's not true about me, but I went for her, and we had a good time. It was nice to sit out. We have a community pool here in our neighborhood, so we sat out by the community pool, had some snacks, read a little, and just relaxed and got some sun. It was actually nice in the water. It felt good. So yesterday we went, and I was gonna say that at some point it was just weird. It was like the heat just cranked up all of a sudden, and we were all over it, like we'd had too much. So I think that's all, really. Is there anything else I needed to tell you? We went and saw Jurassic World Rebirth while Will was out of town. That was like a date day. We went for like the matinee. It was fun. It was very suspenseful. Not a real thick plot line, but you know, when you're on what movie number, I don't even know how many are in that series now. A lot. What do you expect? It was better than I expected, actually. I gotta finish. Do you want to see my finishes? Oh, I have to confess. I have a big fat goose egg for FFOs. I did no FFOs. I have some stuff that I finished that actually Michelle and I are going to take to the Peanut Gallery later today, which is the frame shop that we like to use up in Aubrey, Texas. So I'm excited for that little field trip and to pick something out. I'm going to show you this. This was a fully finished. Not fully finished. A finish. This is Blackbird Designs Evening Shades the Garden. Look how cute! I love how it turned out. I love the colors that I picked. Ended up charting the numbers down at the bottom, the year 2025. I got off a little. If we're gonna also go to confession and just tell you the truth, that the roof of the house actually lines up with the bottom of the X. It's supposed to line up with the top of the X. So that shifted the whole thing down like 4 stitches. In the grand scheme of things, it really doesn't matter. I think I was able to fudge it. I was not about to start over because I had the whole house stitched, and I had a lot of the border at that point and some of the flowers in, and like some of the quite a bit of the alphabet. So I was not gonna frog. There was no way. So I just ended up just trying to make it feel balanced. Like I think I made the chimney stacks a little taller, and I pulled the letters, the S and the T that's over the roof, down a little more. And I can't remember what else I did. I added a few stitches to the stems of the flowers, I think, just to elongate those a little bit more. And then I think I added a few more squares in the border to make that, because I really didn't want to just cut out the grass, because that was one of my favorite parts, those pinwheels that made up the grass. I didn't want to take those out. I tufted out the over one, all my initials there, got that done. But I think it turned out so cute. And I'm thinking about maybe like a bigger, chunky black frame is what I'm picturing. So can't wait to go and pick that out later today at the peanut gallery. Oh, I should tell you, I stitched that on 32 count buttermilk by Color and Cotton. And I did pick my own floss colors for this. I have all those up on Instagram if you're interested in them, or if you want to message me, I can tell you what they are. Okay, so the other thing I stitched for July 4th, I did a start and a finish. Because it was a start and a finish, I'll show the pattern again. I had already, actually for Evening Shades the Garden, that was, as you might recall, a out of print chart from Blackbird. So I was lucky enough to find it on Etsy. Someone was reselling it, and then a friend expressed interest in stitching it as well, so I've already sent it off to her. So fellow stitcher, so hope she enjoys stitching it as much as I did. This start and finish is Old Glory, which is this piece here out of this Teresa Kogut book, Broad Stripes and Bright Stars. And I've stitched 3 pieces out of this book now. So I'm not sure which one we're gonna do next, but this was a stitch along with, or was supposed to be kind of loosely with the Garden Goose stitcher, Teresa, and she and I, we've been stitching along with each other on this book. So I started mine on July 4th, and I think she might have stitched this on Flag Day, and I had something else that I was doing. I was stitching that October house flag. So anyways, I picked this up on Friday, July 4th, and I finished it on Saturday. And I stitched mine on 32 count Mushroom Bold from Color and Cotton. And I really like the color of this fabric. It's really a pretty neutral. And I think I'm gonna just finish this as a little dough bowl pillow is what I'm thinking, but I picked out some fabric, but then I didn't get around to actually sewing it just yet. I did pull like my own colors for most of what I'm stitching out of this book, and I haven't put it up on Instagram yet. So I ended up using Oxford Blue by Color and Cotton because I was like out of Battleship. And then the red is Valor Red from Color and Cotton. And then I just used Ecru for the white, pretty sure. Yeah. So that, you know, just kind of gave it a faded look. I feel like there are 2 blues in this. I should look at the chart, huh? Because I don't remember, because that was, you know, 3 weeks ago. She slept since then. Oh, there were 2 reds and there's a beige and 2 blues. So what was the other? I think the other blue I used was Old Blue Jeans. I think from Classic Colorworks. Ooh, I don't know if I wrote this down. And then Cherry Cobbler is the other red. I do know that. The tan is the called for DMC 612. Yeah, that's true. Okay, so more to come from this book in the future. And I know so many people are getting on board with stitching for America's birthday. I was about to say I don't even know what it is. Is it the sesquicentennial? 250 years? I should look that up because I don't know. This is a downside to recording videos on your phone because, you know, that's your resource, or at least it's mine, for like looking everything up. So, anyway, moving on. Those were my 2 finishes. And let me show you my new starts. One of them I can't show you because it's a secret stitch. So I've already started and finished it. It's a small, big, fun project for someone special. And I've already, actually I haven't sent it off yet, but I'm about to mail it off so that it can be made into something fabulous. What else? I was gonna tell you what else I started. Michelle wasn't here, so I started all the things because she wasn't here. Back in my previous kit parade, I think I did it, a summer kit parade is what I called it. I showed these 2 projects from Plum Street, and so I ended up getting those started. I was definitely missing my friend Michelle, and she and I are kind of sallying along on this one. This is Plum Street Samplers This Happy Morning. And we decided to do the dark version of this. So we're both stitching it on a piece of slate from Fabrics by Stephanie. Mine is 32 count. And I'm gonna fold this in half, even though this is really bigger, just so the light isn't coming through. But I got started on the border using the called for colors for the dark version of the chart, and it's really pretty and it's fun. It's fun to stitch. Although I was having a little tiny bit of trouble seeing, even though this is, I think it's 32 count. The tag fell off. Of course, it's over there in my stitching box. But got to start on that. And then also, this is going to be a stitch along with my friend Brooke, but Stitch by the Brook, but I don't think she has started it yet, and I failed to tell her that I was starting it. But I know a lot of people have already stitched this, and it's so pretty. Plum Street Samplers, always remember. And I love just the colors. I love the poppies. The eagle is so cute in this one. I like how she did the grass and how it has like some quilting aspects to it. So I don't know why I didn't have the floss out for This Happy Morning, but for some reason I have all my flosses for Always Remembers sitting here, so we'll look at those for a second. They're pretty. I decided to stitch this on, this fabric is not labeled. I am 85% sure that this is Silver Fox by Picture This Plus, and I think it's a 28 count because it does seem a good bit bigger with the X's, but I'm really loving how it's turning out. So it has kind of a gray blue mottled tone, and then I'm just using all the called for flosses that were called for from Plum Street. So I really like how this blue turned out. It's so pretty. This is the blue that's in the flag. And it's a DMC. It's $9.24. Okay, so those were my starts. And then I did stitch on my BAPS this month. If you've been following along with me since, I'm pretty sure I've been doing this since January, but I have 3 really big projects that I've been kind of focusing on and at least putting 2 days a month in on. And actually, I think this month I got more time in on both Halloween, Hello Halloween, and the Farms at Hawk Run. I actually need to grab these. They're across the room. I'm just going to show them to you top to bottom. So Pandemic. This is by Long Dog Samplers, and this is my leap year project. I don't think that it's really going to get finished in 4 years, but I'm okay with it. I'm stitching it on a piece of Mystery Ada that is 20 count. It's a really pretty overdyed piece of fabric. Has purple hues to greens. This is really pretty modeling. I actually have it folded over so you can see the back of it too. I picked DMC number 29. It's my floss color, so I'm just gonna stitch this one all monochromatically. And I don't know, a month or so ago, I was able to get a page finish on it. And then this month I focused on this area here, finishing out this large motif. And then I worked, actually I worked up here the other day. Michelle came over and I worked on, we were laughing and calling this, it looks like a whale with like a spout at first, but now the whale has a goatee. It's not what it is. It's like a cornucopia with a basket of flowers, but it's fun to just be silly sometimes, I guess. So this is really coming along. And I enjoyed stitching on it this month. I think the key for me on this is because it is on 20 count, so I'm stitching at 1/1. It's just to stitch it with good lighting and in the daytime and not wait until evening to try to stitch on it because my eyes are usually just too tired to do that. Okay, next BAP that I've been stitching on, as you probably know, if you've been following along, the Farms of Hawk Run Hollow. And I am stitching it, this is by Carriage Samplings. I'm stitching it on a piece of 32 count. I'm going to stand up to show you this because it is big. 32 count Latte by Fiber on a Whim. And I've completely finished 3 blocks and I have all the outline done. This month I was able to actually put in several days on this. I think I ended up stitching on it like, let me look, 1, 2, 3. I ended up stitching on it for 5 days. So a couple of 3 extra days more than what I had like committed to, but mostly I was focused on this block here. This is the livestock auction block. I worked on the horses, putting in those horses over there and the fence, finishing the field, and then I did a lot of fill. And this one, because it's 32 count, I can work on this like even in the evening. So like I was watching the baseball games and filling in this because you can just zone out and not have to pay attention to the pattern, which is nice. Okay, I'm gonna pop this over here. I have been working toward cleaning out my front room. It used to be my whole LuLaRoe boutique and Color Street, like all my nail polish and all the clothing that I would sell. But lately I've been really wanting like a dedicated craft space for my sewing machine and all of my cross stitch stuff. Mostly sewing more than cross stitch because my cross stitch stuff is actually all up in a big dresser on my landing, and that's been working out pretty well. And I sit usually and stitch like here in my living area. Occasionally I might go up in my bedroom and stitch. I have a little desk up there, but for the most part, I just sit on my couch and like hang out down here and stitch. So I don't necessarily need like a dedicated stitching spot, but I want my sewing machine up all the time. And so my grandmother passed away back in March. My dad said, you know, is there any furniture that you might want? And I was starting to think about the craft space, and she's got this beautiful like entertainment set and bookcases. And I probably won't take the entertainment piece because it's a bit bigger, it's like deeper. But all the bookshelves are really pretty, and there's some corner cabinets, and I think it's going to work really nicely along the long wall in that room. So they're still working on selling the house, so you know, for staging purposes and making it look nice, it's just still hanging out over there. Everybody say a prayer that the house sells soon. It would be so nice and a great, you know, burden lifted off the family just for it to sell. And so yeah, and then I can bring my furniture home. So I'm so excited about getting that. And I think it'll be cool to have a little piece of her, you know, at the house here. There's also a really pretty curio cabinet that we've been talking about putting somewhere in the house, and I think it's going to end up going in Will's room or his playroom. He loves to collect things, like particularly he's really into like military, I don't even know what you call it. It's not memorabilia, that's not the right word. Anyway, like just things. Here's and there's, he's collected some medals and helmets and just, you know, things like that. Right now he's like really into medic kits. So anyways, he has a big birthday coming up this weekend. He's turning 14. I cannot believe my little is so big. Yeah, getting ready to go into 8th grade, and so that was what he wanted to do for his birthday, was go antiquing. So that'll be fun. We're gonna get together with one of his good friends that also likes that kind of stuff. So it'll be fun time with the boys. We're also gonna do a family dinner. I think homemade pizza. Will's favorite food. Well, I shouldn't say that's his favorite food, because I think his favorite food is actually salmon. But if you ask him what he wants to eat pretty much every day, he's gonna say pizza. Okay, one more BAP that I stitched on is this girl, Hello Halloween, this big giant sampler from Teresa Kogut. And I've been stitching on this for a couple years now, and I made this kind of like a focus, like I said. I think last month I might have only gotten one day in on it. I was gonna look back. That's one thing I like about this planner a lot that Katie designed, the Naptime Stitcher, because not only does it have like the days, but she also has these little like grid sheets where you can check off what projects you're working on, so you can kind of go back and see how many days you did spend on it. So yes, so last month I had only gotten one day in on it in June, and I don't remember why. I think maybe because I might have been recording Flosstube. So that had been kind of a point of like guilt or contention, because I'm usually doing a monthly recap video, and so that's going to happen at the end of the month, either the last day of the month or the first day of the month, and those were dedicated stitch on BAP days for pandemic and this Halloween project. So I decided to just shift it like one day or the other, and so this time I was able to stitch on Hello Halloween for 1, 2, 3 days. So I got that day made up for in June that I missed, and making some progress on this. I'm stitching it on a piece of 20 count Aida, properly primitive. Oh, and I was able to go and sit and stitch with some friends, Michelle and Katie. We met up at the coffee shop, and so I got some stitches in on this while we were enjoying just spending some time together, and that was super fun. So stitching this on properly primitive 20 count Aida by Under the Sea Fabrics. That was a big mouthful. I don't think I said the under the sea part before. With the called for flosses out of the book, and it's a mix of overdyes, Weeks Dye Works flosses, and DMCs. I feel like I should know this. I've been stitching on this for a long time. So the top part, the top section is like completely finished, that first section, and I've been kind of jumping around on this, and I have enjoyed jumping around on it because it is such a big sampler, and I got the border done first. That kind of allowed me to jump around, and it's been fun. So yesterday, was it yesterday? I think it was the day before yesterday. Yeah, must have been 2 days ago. When we met up at the coffee shop, I worked on the witch here and got her all stitched. Well, we were chit-chatting a lot, so I made a mistake and I had to do some frogging. So then after that, I came home and I worked on a little bit more, and then one more day, the next day, I finished her skirt and her shoes, and I think I put her hands in. Yeah, finished the little details. So she's so cute. And then earlier in the month, I was working on the fence down here at the bottom with the haunted house, and putting all those little broom tops on. The sticks were already done. sticks or the fence posts. So it's coming along and I'm gonna keep stitching on it. Oh, also, hashtag spooky summer. So this one can fall under that category. Tara Sullivan with Sully Stitches started that hashtag. So if you're working on any Halloween and summer, you can use that hashtag or follow along with it. It's been kind of fun. I usually am such a seasonal stitcher that it feels a little bit weird to stitch on that, but it's just been a goal to like really work on it and focus on it. So it's been important to me to make sure I fit it in. There's one more secret stitch that I was working on, but I can't tell you about that or show it to you, but maybe I'll show it in the future when it's gifted. Oh, there's one more thing that I worked on. So last night I had everything all laid out to do Flosstube, so I didn't want to like get back into any of these projects because I had ironed them and they were like ready to go. So I pulled out something else to work on because I can't just sit idly. I need to be stitching. So I pulled out this piece. This is from Heartstring Samplery, Farm and Folk Penny Cushions. I've already stitched this piece and now I'm stitching this one. She's called this one Here a Peep, There a Peep. So it's got all the farm animals, and I saw someone else had finished this and it was so cute. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna pull that out and work on it. I got one of the buntings filled in there, the second one in the middle. And this is being stitched on a piece of 32 count sugar cookie linen by Color and Cotton. And my friend Brooke, we're stitching this together, Stitched by the Brook, and she actually did a DMC conversion for this project. So I'm stitching mine with her DMC conversion. And actually, I need to pull out a couple more colors because on the first pattern, I think there were just a couple that it didn't use. Oh, calls for grits. I feel like there's a brown for this goat. No, it's the white. It's the grits. How is it possible I didn't have grits? I have tons of grits. I don't know. Here are the flosses for it. They're really pretty and not too messy. And we have reached the point in the summer when I can no longer just leave the back door open like I usually do in the spring and the fall because it's so nice. So the dogs can't go in and out on their own. So of course Blanc was over there woofing at me so that I would know he wanted to go out. So gonna be a lot of editing of the dogs out of this video today. Totally okay. So I was gonna say before I was so rudely interrupted was that Brooke also gave me these adorable floss drops. Look at these little hearts. They're little wooden hearts. So cute. I was short one, so one of them is on one of the floss bobbin things from It's So Emma. She also gave me this cute little charm. Both of these. The little cabochon too. Aren't those cute? Don't you love having like little fun stitchy things from your friends? It's so nice because when you can't be together all the time, it just reminds you that they care. And miss you, friend. So let's see. I think that is all the stitching that I had. Let me show you a couple of my project bags that I finished. So I did end up going on a sew day. One day in July, I went to the Best Little Retreat Center in Texas. It's actually pretty far north Dallas, like on the edge of Plano, Richardson area. Richardson is probably really the address. But anyway, even though Michelle wasn't in the country, I went and met up with her mom and her sister and some other friends that I've made there, and we had a sew day. So while I finished these two project bags. Remember how I had Barbie doll quilts last time? I turned the Barbie doll quilts into some beautiful project bags. So this one, I used some peony grunge, which is so pretty. Don't you think that's so pretty? And I'm not normally like a pink girl, but I really like the shades of this. And then this is Fancy That's Songbook, and I love this fabric line. I think it's beautiful. And then on the inside, I used the grunge, the deep teal grunge that I had left over from my quilt that I'm about to show you. That I got back from the long armor. I need to bind it. We have another stitch day planned, so coming up in August. Actually, I think it's not until the end of August, August 31st. But my Barbie doll quilts got turned into project bags, and they're just so pretty. I love this one so much. This is Sagewood by Carolyn Manning. Is that right? I wish I had the thing sitting here, but I don't. It's not Carolyn Manning. It's Crystal Manning. So sorry. It's too many designers to remember. I put this really pretty go with. This is from the line as well, on the inside, and then the back is this beautiful black floral. Oh, I love it so much. And I am a zipper snob. These are the Lori Holt zippers that I've been using on my project bags that I really like. Oh, I think this turned out so pretty. So some more fun that's coming up is that Michelle and I are going next weekend on a road trip, and we're going to meet up with another friend, Caitlin, which I'm so excited to meet, in St. Louis, Missouri. We're going to go to Color and Cotton, and we're going to road trip up through Little Rock. So we're going to go to Shepherd's Needle too, because neither of us have been to Shepherd's Needle. So we're going to check out some new cross stitch shops along the way, or new to us, I should say. Hoping also to get over to Candy's shop, Hoops and, oh gosh, I knew I was going to forget the name of it. Our friend Candy is opening a shop up in Plano, cross stitch shop. She already opened it, actually. We missed the opening. It was supposed to be in May, but then they got delayed because of like, you know, just, I don't know, planning and leasing and all that stuff of the facility. But so Michelle and I were initially talking about going for like a birthday shopping trip in May, because both of our birthdays are in May. But she didn't actually end up opening it until July. So she opened it, the like grand opening was while Michelle was in Japan. Well, I wasn't gonna go without Michelle because initially we had planned to go there for our birthday. So we might try to get up there today after Peanut Gallery. We'll see. Traffic is always a little crazy town. I'm gonna pop in a picture of the name of the shop. It's because it's Hoops and something. And now I can't remember. Brain dead. I think my brain dried up and rolled out my ear. I gotta show you this quilt. I was like, what else was I doing? Told you, no brain. It's too hot. Okay, I'm gonna stand up to show you this. So I sent this to Louita Wasmond, Geek Plus Quilting. She is my friend Michelle's mom. She lives up in Durant, Oklahoma. No, sorry, she doesn't live in Oklahoma. Scratch that. She lives near there. She lives in Sherman, Denison area. She live in Denison? Oh my gosh. I'm a hot mess. At any rate, she quilted this for me, and she did a fabulous job. I think I actually planned for it to go this direction. And I know it's really hard to hold up a whole quilt and show it. So, but she did like this flower pattern and used orange thread is actually what she used, but I think it turned out pretty close. It kind of pops like this yellow was kind of what I was going for. So you can see those large flowers over the top, but I really had fun putting this together. This is from the line Slow Stroll by Fancy That, and I just love everything they do. I had a jelly roll of this given to me by a sweet viewer, Cynthia, and so thank you, Cynthia, for helping me grow my stash. And I've been trying to put some of those beautiful fabrics into projects. It's really hard to show the whole quilt standing here, but you get the gist. and I'll pop in a picture of the whole thing. And then on the back, I'm not sure what this fabric was. It was something that I found at the Best Little Retreat Center that was a wide back, so it's pretty floral, and the color was really close to the grunge, the ground, so I just thought that it would be really pretty. Now I have to find binding fabric, and I think that at Sew It Up over in the HEB area, it's a cute little quilt shop. I think they had some of this left, so I think I'm gonna go snag some of that to put on the, or they had several of the yellows, or if they had the little crosses, I don't know, something. I'll go and in person I'll be like, oh, that's it, pick it out for the binding. And then I'm trying to decide if I want to hand bind it again or if I want to go back and still do the sewing machine method. I may do a mix. I may sew it on and then hand stitch down, tack down the front, because I really liked how that looked. I thought it was really nice. And I know that I'll get better at, with more practice, at doing those bindings and all the quilting things, but it's been really fun making those. Okay, I have a little bit of haul. Actually, I have two really fun things that we can open together. And then we'll talk just a tiny bit about books. Let me move a couple things. Actually, don't think I even opened this box yet at all. So I got some needle minders. I ordered these off of Etsy from Gina's Unique Boutique. And she sent it to me in this cute little package. A little sticker on it, says Happy Mail. So I was just in the mood for some fun needle minders. And you know how these magnets stick together? I had to pull them apart carefully. So I picked up this pretty Native American that I thought I would put with my Peacemakers project. No, not Peacemakers. The Mill Hill We Gathered Together. And then I just loved the dinosaur. I mean, we just watched Jurassic Park, or Jurassic World Rebirth, so I was like, I need a T-Rex. And then I saw this adorable watermelon, and I thought, ooh, watermelon is one of my favorite things about summer. And then she sent me this cute little cupcake as a gift. I thought that was so nice. So a couple of needle minders. I ordered some also from Math Reminders, but they haven't arrived just yet. So I'll show those to you next time. And then every other month, I've been getting this subscription box from the Black Needle Society. And I'll be honest with you, I have been really bad about showing you the things from it because I open it up and then I put the stuff into my stash and I kind of forget about it. So this time we're going to open it together, but I have to go get a knife. Cut it open, and I don't even know what the theme is, but every month there's a fun little theme, and they usually send you some goodies and a pattern and some fabric and just all of the fun things. Oh my gosh, it's so cute already. This one is the theme Dare to Dream. So hopefully I'm not doing spoilers. Hopefully if you got your box, you've already opened it. Surely if you didn't want to be surprised, you skipped ahead. But because I hate to ruin a surprise for anyone. But if you've never gotten one of these, they're really fun. Okay, so I'm not going to look at the spoilers, but we'll just look at the list as we go. I love this. This is so funny. Resting Stitch Face. It's a little sleep mask. Definitely need that for some retreats. Do you ever just get in the hotel and you're like, oh, the light, this or that is bothering me? That's so cute. So totally putting that in my travel bag. Okay, this is a needle minder, an exclusive needle minder. I was trying to think if they always send a needle minder. I feel like there's always something needle related. Oh, it's so cute. It's a little cup of coffee and it says Midnight Stitcher. How appropriate is that? Adorable. And then there are some floss drops. These are really cute. It looks like a paint palette. That's so cute. Yeah, it's like a little paint palette with some fun floss drops with a ring. I don't know why I feel compelled to put this on, but I did. Maybe so I don't drop the whole caboot in the floor. Oh, it's a cute bag. This looks like a project bag. It is a vinyl bag, and it says, "Come with me, you'll be in a world of pure imagination." Is that from Willy Wonka? I feel like it is. Makes me start to want to sing, and it does look like candy. So, cute little vinyl bag. I should probably be looking at the spoilers to tell you. It is from Willy Wonka. We love this quote from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. We also dare you not to start singing the song in your head. Oh, I totally did already. We hope this inspires your own creativity and imagination while stitching. So cute. I guess I could tell you about all the things. Resting stitch face, sleep mask, designed by the Black Needle Society. When we're not actually stitching, we're dreaming of stitching. So true. Keep away those who would disturb you during your power nap before you get back to crafting. So true. Pure Imagination project bag. We love the artwork for this month's pattern so much we wanted to send it on a project bag for you as well. Oh, so the pattern, I see, this is the bad part about reading the spoilers. There's a pattern too for Pure Imagination. Okay, I'm not gonna read anymore. I wanted to read you about the watercolor palette thread card set. Kitting up a new project, but don't want to stick the entire skein of floss in that project bag? Pull what you need and attach it to these thread cards to create your own project palette. We know what a needle minder is. That was designed by Black Needle Society. Sometimes inspiration strikes just as the clock does at midnight. Grab your midnight coffee and stitch and create away. Boy, isn't that true? Although I should not be drinking coffee at midnight. Okay, I'm not gonna read anymore. There'll be spoilers. There's color and cotton fabric, and it's 32 count. They asked this month. So sometimes you get fabric from them and you don't get an option. But this time they did ask, what count you want and what your preferences were. So I went on and filled out that my favorite, my preference was 32 count linen. This is Wish Upon a Star. It's a really pretty warm brown. I was gonna compare it to that, I wanted to see how it compared to this, the Mushroom Bold. It's quite a bit darker. This is Mushroom Bold. This is Wish Upon a Star. It's really pretty. And there is the chart, Pure Imagination, from Black Needle Society. And then there is a box of specialty floss. This is pretty normal too. They usually do send some fun specialty flosses. Now they don't always necessarily go with the project that they send. So that's not necessarily like kitted up, because like this is stitched on purple and that's fun. And I actually have some really funky fabric in my stash that I've been thinking, what should I stitch on this? But this time they are silks from Be Stitch Me. So there's a really pretty purple, a bright yellow. Oh, this is called Solar. The purple is Witchy. And then Imagination is the multicolored one. That's nice. Because see, wouldn't normally like buy a lot of silks, but it's fun to have some just fun stuff in your stash that you can go and grab. Okay, and then there's one more thing in the box. And you guys know how much I love Alice in Wonderland. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. I love Alice in Wonderland so much, and this is so cute. So sometimes I've believed as many as 6 impossible things before breakfast. And I think this is just a vinyl, like transfer. Let me read and see what this says it is. I'm glad I didn't spoil this for my own self. Impossible Things Heat Transfer. This is a new item to our monthly boxes. Use this heat transfer on a project bag, tote bag, t-shirt, or any other fabric surface. Lay your item on a flat, heat-resistant surface, place the transfer ink side down, then iron for 20 seconds. Allow 1 minute for the transfer to cool, and then slowly peel back the transfer design, revealing the design. What am I going to use this for? It's so stinking cute. Maybe a project bag, because they said that, but it'd be cute on a t-shirt too. Not wearing the right kind of t-shirt to put this on, but I love it so much. Okay, that's gotta stay in the bottom. Okay, so that was really it for haul. Now, I told you that next weekend we're going to Color Cotton, so look forward to a lot of haul in the August recap video because I'm planning to kit some things up. In fact, I have pulled a few projects that I want to kit up for that, and I didn't really talk to you about plans. My plans really are just to continue summer stitching until I can't stand the summer any longer, and then I'll switch to fall, and to get back on finishing at least 2 pieces for you a month. I was looking at my list of projects that I have left to FFO, like from that I have previously stitched, and it's getting small. Like there were some 4th of July things I should have finished, and I didn't because I was doing other stuff. But I have marked a lot of stuff off this list. There are probably only, it looks like I circled 15. So there's like 15 things left to finish from previous years, which at one point that list was like 2 pages long. It was big. Other plans are just to continue stitching on the BAPS. So 2 days on Hawk Run, 2 days on Pandemic, 2 days on Hello Halloween. And then I'm going to kit some fun stuff up. I'm probably going to focus on kind of fall stuff when I go to Color Cotton, just because that's our next season that's coming up. And so I know I have, I already have some stuff kitted up, but I'm looking forward to kitting up some artsy housewife projects. So I'm definitely going to take some of those. And then I feel like I have a Plum Street that's in the works, not in the works, but in the pile that I want to work on. It's Grace Doth Abound. I should pop in a picture of the chart. Let's see, I'm not just randomly talking about stuff. And then, like I said, I definitely wanted to kit up something artsy housewife, and then we'll just see what else grabs me. So for reading, I'm gonna just go ahead and tattle myself. I have not been reading much. So remember, after I finished reading All the Pretty Horses, I picked this up. This is the Thursday Murder Club. And I was reading it on Libby. I had it checked out from the library and I wasn't reading it fast enough. So they took it away from me. So I ran over to Half Price Books and I was able to find it at Half Price Books. And look, I'm a little over halfway in. And I took this to the pool, but I was like chit-chatting with my friends. And so also what's been happening to me lately is, you know, I love baseball. So I've been watching a lot of baseball, and like right now the games are on the West Coast, and that just kind of messes me up because if I watch the game and it's earlier, then I can read a little bit before bed. But lately I'm like barely making it through the games because it's so late when they finish. So I got to a really, really exciting part. Just kind of did not want to put this down, and I almost wanted to shush my friends yesterday, but that's not very kind. So the Thursday Murder Club, it's obviously got some murders to solve. So, and it's kind of comical. The characters are really funny. It is set in somewhere in England, I think. I don't think it really actually says exactly where it is, but you can tell by the way that they talk that they talk about London, so it must be somewhere outside of London. Okay, it is in England. I didn't want to say something that was wrong. I try not to give away too much about the plot, but I am enjoying this, so I'll get back to it. And then next step in the queue, I wanted to show you this. This is Hidden Pictures by Jason Rekulak. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but look at the cover. It looks so, oh, I want to know what's going to happen in this one. So my friend Crystal, she gave me this one. She said it was really good. On the front, it says a one-of-a-kind thriller. I loved it, from Stephen King. So if Stephen King liked it, I mean, his books are too scary for me. I'll just, most of them. I think I did read the Green Mile series, and I enjoyed that. But even, you know, his books are pretty scary. But this is a murder mystery too. Probably have nightmares. But this one's not a scary murder series, but this one's supposed to be a thriller, so I can't wait to read it. Crystal said it was really good. So it's got a lot of illustrations in it. Do you guys like books with illustrations? I just love that. And that's the only thing about like audiobooks, is that you wouldn't really want to read this one or listen to this one on an audiobook, because there's all these pictures. I don't want to give it all away, but this will be a good one. Should be a good one. Okay, so what else? I think that's all. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a great summer, and I'll see you next time. Happy stitching!